Beneath the sands of ancient Egypt lie hidden truths waiting to be unveiled. But what if the key to unlocking these mysteries is held by a single enigmatic figure? Enter Zahi Hawass, the legendary Egyptologist whose secrets may shatter everything we thought we knew about ancient Egypt's discoveries. Prepare to step into the shadows as we expose the hidden truths that Zahi Hawass is concealing, forever changing our perception of this mesmerizing civilization. Get ready to journey into the unknown, for the secrets of ancient Egypt are about to be revealed. Authorities weren't expecting to find a plan better suited to an Indiana Jones film when they confiscated a diplomatic pouch at the Naples port. The pouch, which was found in March of last year, included a wide range of Egyptian artifacts, including colorful pharaonic mummy masks, about 200 tiny artifacts, and more than 20,000 coins. It was obvious who was responsible for the theft of the riches from Egypt, since they were all powerful and well-connected people. The trade of smuggling antiquities is almost as ancient as the artifacts themselves. However, since the Arab Spring, commerce has increased in Egypt, and social media has made it simpler to get concealed goods. The problem is so severe that it is visible from space. Massive holes in the earth where stolen artifacts have been found are visible in satellite photos of archaeological sites before and after they were plundered. Additionally, there is a lot of money at stake. According to the US-based Antiquities Coalition, since 2011, Egyptian antiquities have been smuggled overseas for an estimated $3 billion. The exact amount taken is still mainly unclear. Many objects were never formally recorded because, according to some Egyptologists, notably the controversial and flamboyant former Antiquities Minister Dr. Zahi Hawass, only around 30% of ancient Egypt has been discovered. Even now, excavations uncover ancient artifacts that were previously undiscovered. According to Dr. Hawass, modern Egypt is built on the foundation of ancient Egypt, so people can dig in the courtyard of their homes and find antiquities. Illegal commerce has increased over the last 7 years as a result of unrest in Egypt. After 30 years of totalitarian control, President Hosni Mubarak was forced from office in 2011 by the Arab Spring demonstrations, and with him the police state. Raiders rushed in to pillage hundreds of archaeological sites and museums from the Pharaonic, Coptic, and Islamic periods, since they were mainly unattended. Through Egypt's international ports or porous borders, the artifacts were transported to the lucrative international antiquities illicit market. According to Shaban Abdul-Gawad, the director of the repatriation division at the Ministry of Antiquities, many of the antiquities find their way into private collections in Europe and the United States, which are by far the two biggest markets for Egyptian goods. They also end up in other parts of the Middle East, Asia, and even Australia. He claims that it is a worldwide commerce that occurs everywhere. An anthropologist from Washington, D.C., named Katie A. Paul, just finished a 6-year investigation into Egypt's illicit antiquities trade. About 2,000 Egyptian artifacts have been seized at ports worldwide, according to her research of official sources, social media, and conventional media. Large, well-armed gangs and organized trafficking networks that overwhelm security at antiquity sites are only one kind of trafficker. Another type is an individual in a community who makes a fortunate discovery on their land and sells it to a middleman or the local mafia. According to Ms. Paul, many of the people are in dire financial straits, and it is a symptom of a larger economic problem with the downfall of tourism after the revolution. The rise of the illicit trade has also been significantly influenced by social media. According to Ms. Paul, a Facebook group started in 2016 to crowdsource knowledge on how to conduct your own illegal excavation garnered more than 50,000 members in a year. Dr. Hawass and other Egyptian officials have also been charged with participating in the smuggling operation. In 2013, he was charged with corruption and brought to court, but the accusations were dropped. Weak individuals want to claim that authorities were engaged. No official is engaged in smuggling, the speaker claims. Under the condition of anonymity, a foreign archaeologist told the ABC that they believed inspectors were involved. The police are often involved, inspectors are sometimes complicit, and the military is sometimes implicated because they fly items out on military aircraft, the archaeologist claims. Looting and smuggling had significantly less restrictions in the past. During the colonial period, many artifacts were either removed out of the country illegally or presented to other nations, including the Luxor obelisk that is currently in Paris. But during the last several decades, that has altered. A UNESCO convention was ratified in 1970 to stop the illegal export of cultural property. The Protection of Antiquities law was enacted in Egypt, particularly in 1983. That, however, does not assist with many previous deletions. When it comes to artifacts seized decades ago, there is sometimes no legal recourse. Joan Howard, a lady from Perth, made headlines in Egypt last year when she displayed her vast collection of artifacts to Australian media. In the 1960s and 1970s, Mrs. Howard spent a lot of time collecting antiquities around the Middle East, especially Egypt, as the wife of a UN official serving there. She was allowed to bring them back to her suburban Perth home thanks to diplomatic privileges and lenient local regulations. The Egyptian government was unimpressed. "It's insane," Dr. Hawass adds. "I don't think she has any right to keep antiquities in her house at all." The strengthened Antiquities Ministry of Egypt lodged a formal grievance with the Australian Embassy in Cairo. However, the Australian Department of Communications said in a statement that there is no legal justification for the Australian government to take any action since Mrs. Howard's collection was imported before the Protection of Movable Cultural Heritage Act 1986 went into effect. Joan Howard's daughter informed the ABC that her mother had been entirely exonerated and firmly denied any wrongdoing. It seems like there is happy news in Egypt about a new shipment of returned antiques virtually every week. Thanks to a number of agreements with various nations, 1,600 pieces, including 1,000 only in 2016, according to Mr. Abdel Gawad, have been returned since 2011. The wealth found in the diplomatic pouch in Naples was returned to its country in June and temporarily shown there. According to Mr. Abdel Gawad, an excavation site was probably where the artifacts were taken, according to Egypt Today. Though they are smaller and less likely to bring large audiences to museums than some of the more famous lost treasures, they are like the majority of the objects that have been recovered. One of my ambitions is to return the Rosetta Stone from the British Museum, the Hemiunu, the Great Pyramid's engineer, and the skull of Nefertiti, according to Mr. Abdel Gawad. But given that many of the most renowned items were stolen from Egypt legitimately in accordance with the rules of the time, and that foreign museums have often been loath to return some of their most valuable exhibits, that may not be simple. Thank you for joining us on this captivating journey into the hidden truths of ancient Egypt and Zahi Hawass. If you found this video intriguing, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating explorations. Hit that notification bell to stay updated on our latest content. And remember, the enigmas of ancient civilizations are endless, so stay curious and keep seeking knowledge.